Green?
Absolutely.
Thank
One
you so
second.
much.
Sure. Sorry, John.
No worries.
Let's see if I can do it from here.
I can try and do that for you, Stephanie, while
Oh,
you.
thanks. Because I can't get out of the transcription now. All right. While Victoria is getting that presenter turned over, welcome everybody. Today is Thursday, August 26th. This is MS Office Hours. I am Stephanie, joined by
Victoria Dean.
who's trying to fix something right now, and
Garrett Chandler.
Awesome. And we're really excited to have the return of the prodigal MS Office Hours son. Dave Perlman's here.
I did wear my superhero shirt today. It was Flash. So
Nice.
really excited to be here. So sincerely, this group was such a large part of my life, and we've seen it grow and change, and love to really reconnect with everybody. So we had 4 years of Thursdays, oftentimes on holidays and birthdays, and you probably know more about my family than many of my coworkers. So what I wanted to do is we're going to present for about 20-25 minutes. My name is David Perlman. For those of you that don't know me, I spent about 21 years at Microsoft, most of it in education. I'm now the VP at Adobe for Adobe Sign and Education and higher ed and education healthcare. So we cover the US and Canada. With me is Kyle Johnson, one of our subject matter experts, and then also John Ziegler, who's on our team. There's a few other folks from my team, I think Mallory, Lauren, and a couple of other folks. We're going to spend about maybe 20 minutes or so. We'll do a little demo of Adobe Sign. If you are using Teams and you are using something that begins with a D, seriously, please call us. We're not here to sell you anything. The integration's pretty phenomenal. I think you're going to be pretty excited about what you're going to be able to unlock. In fact, Marge is so excited about this that she almost was willing to talk to me about it. Not quite. We're working on that. But anyways, thank you so much. I'm going to turn it over to John, who's one of our senior account executives. And John, take it away.
All right. Thank you, everyone. Appreciate it. Is my screen coming up okay?
You're good to go.
Yep, looks great.
Excellent. Thank you. And thank you, everyone. I want to, first off, say thank you to Microsoft for giving us the opportunity to speak with everyone today. As some of you know, Adobe and Microsoft are really strong partners. So let me start off by saying this is really a truly strategic partnership between two global leaders, and it brings together the power of Adobe Clouds directly into the productivity and collaboration of Microsoft 365. So we're super excited about being here today. Dave already gave his intro again, and he introed me as well. I want to also intro Kyle Johnson, who will be the solutions consultant today that will take you through the demo. I am going to just quickly go through a couple of slides because I do want to, kind of delve into the demo. Just kind of give you an overview. What is Adobe Sign? How we help K-12 and higher education institutions. Show you some of the education use cases that we see pretty often. And then we're going to go right into the Microsoft and Adobe Sign demo. So what is Adobe Sign? So it is a cloud-based electronic signature service that enables you to replace all of your ink and paper processes with a completely automated e-signature workflow. So you can sign, you can send, track, manage documents from anywhere on any device at any time. It is fully compliant, checking the boxes with all of the compliance and certifications that are needed for security. And we are proud to say that we are also Microsoft's only preferred e-signature solution. So super, proud of that title as well. I also wanted to talk a little bit about what Adobe Sign does. So, of course, we, enable folks to be able to sign documents electronically, but there are other things as well. You can prepare a document from pretty much any file format into a fillable field or a document that needs to be signed. Of course, you can request signatures from others. You can do that either from, sort of a one-off situation, or you can set up automated workflows within Adobe Sign. You can send a single document to one or many people, thinking, just, off the top of my head, code of conduct or something from HR that needs to be, accepted or approved by a number of individuals, sending that all at once. You can, of course, track documents and set reminders for individuals that, within the workflow may have not gotten to the document yet or signed. So being able to get that visibility, gain that visibility into the process. It's not just kind of going out there into the ether and you have no idea where the document is. Having that visibility definitely helps. and then being able to work from your favorite applications and devices, which of course are only Microsoft applications and devices. No, I'm kidding, but there are, we are a enterprise adaptable solution. So our kind of feeling is we've created a solution that allows you to work within the systems and the applications that you're already being productive in. We're not looking to reinvent the wheel. We want to create more productivity and enable you more. So, within the higher education space, what we've seen, and again, this is actually not only within education, this is a lot of commercial business as well. We see upwards of 80% of document processing still reliant on paper. Documents that sometimes start off as a digital document many times find their way to the old printer to be printed out and have to be signed, faxed, or scanned back because a signature is needed. Students are sometimes required to come into the office to visit in person to obtain a document that could live as a web form, let's say, on a university website. And then of course it just makes for an overall poor student and faculty experience. I mean, I think we all know things have changed. People, especially our younger generation, are expecting mobile first, digital first, and consumer grade experiences with all of their interactions, whether it be commercial or with their university or college, and we can provide that for you. Now, what we've seen as a result of adding Adobe Sign into a workflow, these are a number of different use cases we've seen, but on a few within, let's say, the student application process, we've seen that come down by 8 days. We've seen a 67% improvement in the enrollment process, a 93% improvement in student add or drop processes when that's applied, 4,000 hours in HR hours saved in a year, and again, creating a much more modern, efficient, consumer-grade experience for everyone involved. I'm going to quickly go through again because I don't want to. Just want to quickly go back to that. These are just some of the higher education institutions that we've recently done business with. I said that I also wanted to share some of the use cases that we see within higher education. I'm going to just leave this up for a second just so you can kind of look through, but you can see, it runs the gamut from, administration to human resources to finance to procurement. I mean, essentially anywhere there's a document or a document process, there are efficiencies to be had, and Adobe Sign, along with Microsoft, can help to streamline that process. And then finally, the Adobe Sign, or the Adobe, I should say, and Microsoft partnership. We launched this in 2016, more on the Adobe Experience Cloud side, and within the past few years, we've announced the expansion of that partnership into Adobe Document Cloud and Adobe Sign. And we've been super proud of that partnership. To help workforce productivity, drive more efficient business processes for hundreds of millions of folks and businesses across the world. And finally, just wanted to show you again, as I mentioned, truly strategic partnership. Where Adobe Sign fits in and integrates with the Microsoft products across the board. As you can see there, I know, Kyle, I'm going to be passing it on to you, but I think you did want to say a couple of things about, Power Automate and Azure, right?
I did. And I knew you were going to pass it over to me. I wanted to also show my dog because I saw Carla's earlier and I wanted my dog LeBron to join. He's my buddy in crime. Regarding Power Automate and Azure, I like talking about those the most because our clients are getting a lot out of those specifically. I already saw someone in chat talk about Power Automate. There's a bunch of connectors that are available to help you create customized use cases for whatever your business needs. Today, we're going to be talking about a few use cases that just use out of the box capabilities. But Power Automate, if you want to go and check out the connectors, they're amazing. And then in terms of Azure, Sign transactions help with Azure consumption. So that's always something that people love to hear. So I'll pass it back to you, John, to finish out, and then I'll start the demo.
Yeah, no, I think that was it, Kyle. We can pass it right on to you, and we can get right into it. I know we have about 20 minutes or so left.
All right, this guy is
doing all right, Kyle. I'm gonna. There was one question that I did want to address, and there were some others, but somebody asked, what's the difference between Adobe Sign and Docusign? Aside from the great team of people at Adobe, some of which you're seeing here, Adobe really leverages the entire Adobe landscape, right? It's not just Sign. So many of our organizations are already on Adobe, whether it be on the Document Cloud, on Creative Cloud, and very loyal, passionate customers, especially around digital marketing and a bunch of the other areas. So the difference between Adobe Sign and Docusign, we do much more than just having the Sign capabilities. It's the rest of the partnership with Microsoft. In fact, Microsoft itself is now, they were using one of the other competitors that begins with a D, and they are now using Adobe Sign across the entire organization. Adobe was a little bit later to the market. There's a pretty high percentage. What you'll find, and again, we're not here to advertise, but what I think you're going to find from an implementation strategy to how we integrate with the rest of your university and or healthcare organization, K through 12, is very different. We actually don't try to sell you a bunch of transactions. What we try to do is define the workloads that you're looking at. What is that transformation that you're trying to really unlock? So what's the end result that you're looking for versus, hey, here's 500,000 subscriptions. It's unlimited. It'll cost you $100,000 per year. But I don't want to take time away from Kyle. Hopefully that helps a little bit. Feel free to reply back if I helped a little bit, Walter. Go ahead, Kyle. All you.
Thanks, David. I really appreciate it. That was a great answer to your question, right? Like why Adobe Sign versus DocuSign. The way that Adobe Sign is set up in terms of utilizing the Adobe ecosystem, I think is second to none, and our integrations with Microsoft also illustrate that point. When I think about like what Adobe Sign is, if you think about your business as a living, breathing creature, I think of Adobe Sign as the circulatory system, and your documents are the blood that really fuels your business, right? We keep everything secure. We get it where it needs to go. Where these documents need to go are, the specialized organs that you have with all these different applications, whether it's, Outlook or SharePoint or wherever things need to go. Adobe Sign will integrate with them pretty seamlessly and just help you understand your documents a little bit better, help your document velocity go up, and making sure that you're obviously getting everything signed as needed. So I love this demo that I'm going to show you today. It utilizes I'm sure the Microsoft team can appreciate the personas that we have here, because there's some of your typical personas. We actually created this using the Microsoft personas, and I really enjoy it. But the demo today is going to show what happens when Megan goes through a process for getting a signature for a sale. And while we go through this, I first, number one, encourage you to ask questions in the chat box. And the second thing I'd like to do is just encourage you to think about how you can apply this in your current business. When I'm going through this presentation, it will be a little bit more focused on how Adobe Sign integrates into your existing workflows. And we're not actually going to go into how Adobe Sign works by itself. We're actually just going to stay completely in Microsoft land today. So that's good for you that are used to that. But just think about the different ways that some of the functionality here could be present in your day-to-day. I might be talking about a sales order today, but think about, instead of a sales order, maybe something like a vendor contract or a teacher signing code of conduct, or a student signing code of conduct, application forms, and things like that. But again, today what we're going to be doing is we're going to go through a presentation with Megan, who is an account manager at Contoso, Isaiah, who is the manager at Contoso, and then Alex, who is a client. And we're going to show the entire process from beginning to end. I'm going to go a little quickly, just so we can be cognizant in terms of time. I'm going to try to have this entire presentation go for about the next 10 minutes, and then we'll have a few minutes to talk about next steps. If you want to follow up with any of us after this presentation, we'll be placing emails into the chat box. You can follow up with Simone, David, or John after this if you want to learn a bit more. So with all that being said, let's jump into the persona of Megan. So Megan right now is going to be in Microsoft Teams, and she's going to go over into her Sales West channel, and she's going to receive a manager from Isaiah, and she'll respond here, and she'll say, hey, thanks, Isaiah, I got your message. I'm going to adjust this presentation as needed, and then I will follow up with you. So she's going to go into the file section of Teams, and then she's going to open everything up in SharePoint. So she has all of her documents here, and these are all the documents that she needs in order to put together her presentation. The final package for this client. So she has this presentation in PowerPoint, she has a contract in Word, and she has a white paper as well. And what she's going to use is Adobe PDF services to combine those together. So she's going to click on this drop down here, and she's going to click Combine Files by Adobe. And as we go through, she's going to select the presentation. That's going to expand. She's going to say, oh, you know what? I don't need this extra page. I'm going to delete that right here. And boom. She's going to then close this back up and combine the multiple files together, utilizing this online version of Adobe Acrobat. We're not into Sign territory yet, but this is obviously something you might want to use when you are working with multiple file types and you're getting everything ready. And again, everything was integrated directly into SharePoint and Microsoft Teams at this point. So we're combining these files, and we're going to go over here. We're going to give it a new name. We'll call it, let's say, I don't know, Northwind FY20 contract. Once combined, we're going to see this one beautiful PDF document all together. And there's a green banner on the bottom right notifying Megan that our new document has been saved in SharePoint account. You can just scroll down through this document. We see that it's like the greatest sales document ever. It looks exactly like we need it to be. We're good to go. So we're going to head back to SharePoint. And here we have that new PDF contract. And it's important in this scenario that the contract is in a PDF, because this is the easiest way for this external person to analyze it if we don't necessarily know what type of system they're on. So we're just going to click that, and we're going to go to Adobe Sign. Now that we've done, now that we've clicked this and gone to Adobe Sign, we actually can send for signature, agreement status. We can check our agreement status, look at library templates, manage agreements, and go to settings. Even if this document wasn't a PDF, you're still able to select it and utilize Adobe Sign. Adobe Sign can actually ingest all of the various different Microsoft templates in terms of docx and PowerPoint files. The only files that can't be converted into within Adobe Sign, I believe, are sound files and video files, because who would really sign those? Maybe there's a use case in the future, but who knows? Anyway, once you click this, we're going to click Send for Signature. We're going to send this document out to our buddy Alex for signature. So this opens up a window, you'll notice, within the same browser, right? You're not being brought to a third-party location. You're just still here. And what we're going to do is, in this little field with a little pen nib, we're going to put in Alex's name. And I like to say that when you're putting together when you're putting together a document for signatures, it's easy as sending an email. So if you know how to fill out the to box in Outlook, you can probably send a signature through Adobe Sign. What we're going to do here is we're going to put in Alex's name as the person to sign it. We're going to change the name of the contract. We're then going to go down and add in a message for Alex to review. And we'll say, hey, please review and sign. If we wanted to, we can password protect and set reminders. We're going to look at the different options here. You can say, hey, you want to remind people every day, every week, every business day, every third day. What we're seeing here are all the options that are natively available in the out-of-the-box version integrated with SharePoint. So if you want to get a little more complicated, there's features that you can utilize with our workflow designer, which allows you to do a lot more things like pre-fill boxes that automatically place data on top of your documents. You can utilize things like merging a SharePoint list into your documents, and much more. But however, we're just going to do a really simple send here, right? Let's just say that the use case is we're in SharePoint. We just want to send this document for signature. So what we're going to do is to continue through this process, and we're going to go to next, and we're going to preview our signature fields. So what's happening is Adobe Sensei, which is our AI, is processing the document. It's recognizing all the different places where signature fields can be added. It's essentially reading the document and saying, hey, what am I working with here? Once you're in the preview pane, what you're going to be able to do is edit the document as needed by adding on text fields onto essentially an invisible layer on top of the document itself. So you can add things like signature layers, initial layers, data fields that pull in information from various sources, and even formula fields that automatically calculate what's happening within the document. That'd be really good for, let's say, teacher bonuses, right? They hit all their KPIs, you automatically say, hey, you get an extra $5,000, you're good to go. You actually don't have to calculate that outside of a document like this, right? Really cool. So, and if you're familiar with Excel formulas, it works exactly the same way, essentially. So what we're going to do here is we're going to add in a signature field. Scroll down to the bottom of this document. And we're going to add in this signature field. So to do that, you just drag and drop that signature block from the right side. And it'll appear as this little yellow box and has a little red asterisk on it. And that means that that is a required field. Because we're sending this for signature, you at least need one signature field in order to send it. So what we're going to do is just click send. And it's as easy as that. You see it to submit, and the document has been sent for signature. So to review what we just did, we were inside of SharePoint. We found our file. There was an in-platform integration where you had a little options menu that just popped up that said Adobe Sign. We went down that drop-down and we clicked send for signature. To install that integration, it actually takes probably about, I would say 30 seconds. I've done it probably 100 times for my various Microsoft tenants over the years. It's very, very quick to add. Now, let's look at what it looks like from Alex's perspective. So Alex Wilbur, he's our client. So in this persona, and for all of our education clients on the line, people that are involved in education, this could be a student, a teacher, a vendor. This is the experience that they would receive when they receive a document from you. So Alex is going to be on his phone. He's got an iPhone and he is in Outlook, and he sees that Megan Bowen sent him a document. He opens it up on his phone, and he's able to easily see the document and understand exactly what he needs to do. He's going to click this drop down here, and he will quickly be able to see the message from the sender. He says, hey, please review and sign. Okay. And then he's actually going to sign this once it's done. However, let's say he gets a little bit antsy, or his I have ADD myself, so I can say this. His ADD kicks in and he doesn't actually sign that document. Oh no, what are we going to do? Well, let's say we have our buddy Isaiah, and Isaiah comes in and he's going to say, hey, Megan, what's with the contract? What's the status? Well, directly in Teams, you can actually check that status. So we're going to go back to Megan's persona, and she goes to posts, and right here, she's going to summon our friend, the Adobe Sign Bot, directly in Teams. And what that bot allows you to do is check things like help, or you can ask it help, or you can do things like check the status of a document. So what we're going to do is we're going to summon the bot, and we're going to say check status. We're going to ask the bot exactly what is the document that we want to check on. We're going to put in the name of that Northwind FY20 contract, and we're going to check it. So, oops, let me go back. I apologize. And we're going to see that the contract is awaiting signature from Alex. So right here in your Teams window, it's connected into Adobe Sign, and we know that it's still waiting for signature. So what Megan is going to do is she's going to go into Outlook now. And inside of Outlook, you can see that the Adobe Sign integration is present here as well, right on the top right. You can fill in sign, send her signature, and check agreement statuses. She's going to click agreement status and find the agreement that she's working on with Alex. So we can see here we have the Northwind FY20 contract. She's going to click the drop down, and we can see already that the document was created, the document was sent out to Alex, and he viewed it, but he did not sign it. So we're going to go in, click view agreement, and this brings us to a page that allows us to see more options for this document. You can download the document, you can cancel sending this and maybe send them a new one if you wanted. You can download the audit report, which has the history of said document and allows you to understand where it's been and who's opened it. But right now, what we're going to do is just click reminder. And we're just going to say, you know what, Alex, we need to remind you that this document is out there. So we're going to say right now, we're going to send it to Alex. And we're going to say, hey, man, what are you doing? I really need this contract at the end of the quarter. Can I have this by tomorrow? You click create. And that will actually send him an email reminder from Adobe Sign, and he'll jump back into that document. He'll be exactly where he was last time. He's going to click start. He'll tap here to sign, turn his phone sideways, and then he'll sign. And as you can see here, he can sign directly with his phone. Ooh, and I have a low battery. Low battery on my computer. Let me plug in real quick. So with that being said, I know I've been going so rapid fire. I'm going to just let you guys see all of this as I talk through what's happening here. But essentially what I just showed you was the entire process from beginning to end to sign a document with Adobe Sign. After Alex clicks apply, that document will then be shared with Megan and anyone else that was included in the entire process. He's clicking the sign right here. After that, he's all set. He's going to receive a little notification saying he signed this document. Because we only have 3 minutes left, and I want to be cognizant of everyone's time, I'll just tell you about some of the other things that in a workflow like this we can set up. For example, and I'll just stop sharing for the moment, but for example, after that document has been signed, you can automatically save it to, let's say, a SharePoint channel or SharePoint folder. You can utilize some of the Power Automate tools to apply additional actions to that document. But in reality, what we saw here was an end-to-end process to sign a document directly within the Microsoft environments that you are so used to. You never have to leave it once, and you can get your document signed right there. So with that being said, I will pass it back to Stephanie, and we can take questions, or we can just sign out. But I appreciate everyone having me here today. Thanks.
Thanks, Kyle. Appreciate you so much. And listen, something that really wowed me, and it really changed my mind around, like, is this somebody I need to bring to my customers, was honestly the bot / power app / sort of intelligent agent that can live inside of Teams. I can't tell you how many times as an administrator I needed to check in on where was the document, who's it sitting with, what do they need to do next, how long have they had it, and having that inside a conversational bot within Teams was just like, it blew my mind. So you've got a fan in me for sure. I hope this was valuable. It seems like through the chat we were able to get that Q&A going. So Dave, anything that you need to say to kind of wrap us up about contact information? How should they reach out to you all?
Sure.
What
Absolutely.
are next steps?
So, hey, great job, team. Stephanie, Victoria, Garrett, I'm bummed I missed T. Cox, but I'll still harass her offline. Tell me offline how old she's turning, and I'll make sure I harass her. No, really, as you have questions, many of you already have Adobe contracts. We are definitely super user friendly. We want to help kind of work with you on those workloads. So when you have a workload and you're thinking about getting, Adobe Sign up and running, or looking to have a little bit more of a strategic relationship versus kind of some of the transactional relationships that I hear some of the other vendors in this space have, you've known me for years, you've worked with us, we'll do you right and make sure that you're a happy Microsoft and Adobe customer. The partnership's so crucial, so really look forward to reaching out. So everybody should know my email address. Feel free to reach out to me, and I can push you out to one of the folks on the team. My email address is dperlman@adobe.com. So again, dperlman. Feel free to follow me on LinkedIn. I know many of you do. And John and Kyle, really appreciate your time. But seriously, please don't hesitate to reach out or reach